Hello, hello, hello. Apa khabar semua FPL managers? We are back. FPL Jedi Show is back tonight. Okay, episode yang ke-20. Okay, which is we are still in the middle of game week 22. We still left another two matches, iaitu Leicester versus Spurs and also Branford versus Manchester United, which they will play tonight. Okay, so we stay in the middle, but don't worry. Okay, we also gonna look forward into game week 22 to 23 later. Tersasul lah banyak malam ni. So with me, Azmin, how are you? How you're feeling so far?
Hi, I'm okay. I think it's been a frustrating week again, and I have to admit that some of my move this week there wasn't the moves for last week was not so much, was more instinct without so much of focusing on the data. But yeah, that's fine. We take the rough with the smooth, and you have to continue pushing on.
Yeah, actually we didn't plan for tonight. I mean, kita dua-dua pakai baju kuning. We also wear the same color shirt. Okay, it's not something we plan. Okay, I guess Min pun uh, apa ni pakai whatever that you intend tonight. Okay, we both
Yeah.
wear yellow tonight. Okay, but in the end, maybe we just share some latest news that happened in game 22 lah, Min. The first one is definitely what I can think of. Rafa Benitez has been sacked, okay, as Everton boss. I think the last straw between Norwich and Everton tu lah yang make it. Um, he's been sacked by the, and the fans also turn out against him. Okay, we already know Rafa Benitez before this point the connection with Liverpool. Okay, and then the fans might not receive that well. Okay, and then at the earlier beginning of the season, Everton performed what Benitez has been performing, but then injuries caught up, COVID and so on. The issues, Everton sliding down, and I think now at 16th place ke something like that. So in the end, bila kalah to Norwich, I think that's the worst can happen lah. Norwich has been struggling all season. I think they win that game and jump into number 17 or something like that. So, what's your comment on that?
All right. So as a Liverpool fan, and someone who's appreciated Rafa Benitez for bringing us the Champions League after so long. It was, to be honest, it was quite a surprise when I first found out that Everton were making a move for Rafa Benitez at the start of the season, because I felt that it was just having come from, of course, previously he wasn't immediately from Liverpool, but his history was Liverpool is one of the biggest successes in his career. So it was quite, I was quite surprised that Everton decided to go for Rafa Benitez, and from the look of it, a lot of Everton fans were not happy with the appointment, and as a result, Rafa Benitez was never really accepted by a lot of the Everton supporters. So it was okay, as you mentioned, at the start where we were winning matches, and I myself had Calvert-Lewin at the start, first 3 weeks, and he scored on all three of those game weeks, before injuries started to hit the Everton team, a lot of injuries, as you mentioned, Hafiz. And to be fair, it was because Everton squad wasn't that didn't have that much depth either. At the same time, then you have players like Sigurdsson getting into trouble, and then you had key injuries to key players. And then to his credit, the players like Demara Gray came and performed better. But at the same time, arguably one of Everton's previous performers, consistent performers, Luca Digne, was frozen out of the team. Yeah, and apparently, I followed this a bit. There was quite a lot of rumors as to why he was frozen out of the team, and apparently there was some disagreement about his role, because Benitez wanted him to be more defensive,
More
and
defensive. Yeah.
Lucadini was more attacking, and it was not something he wanted to do. But we don't really know the truth of what happened there. But in the end, the funny thing is, when come January, Lucadini was sold because obviously he was not going to be able to work with Rafa Benitez. But in the end, Rafa Benitez was kicked out of the job anyway. So
Yep.
yeah,
Out from the job.
In a way, it leaves Everton. Yeah, so it leaves Everton in a worse position. They've lost one of their the star players because of a dispute with the manager. But in the end, they lost the manager anyway. So it doesn't look good for Everton.
Okay. Yeah, I think I feel sorry for him. To be fair, Master, last time Benitez take over Chelsea, interim. Also, I have the same feeling like I cannot accept Benitez, but but along the way, when Benitez keep winning games, and in the end, I think he won the Europa Cup or something like that. I forgot, but then in the end, we so-called like forgive him, or maybe his connection with Liverpool and so on. But that's the journey between us and Benitez. So when Benitez pergi dekat Everton, I think I can feel the same feeling. Okay, but that is the scenario. We are not sure who will be the head manager. Okay, for Everton. For current time that we know, Duncan Ferguson will take as the caretaker lah. All right. Okay, man. Just to touch a bit. Yep, just to touch a bit on double game week 22. So-called double game week, but in the end from 8 pasukan, 8 teams, actually in the end like 4 teams only yang ada double game week, which is Brighton, Chelsea, Branford and Manchester United. That's the feeling lah. I understand whoever brought in or activating their free hit this week. Sorry to say, this is the situation right now, the COVID and so on. We have to embrace it. But we can only move on from here. Okay, the frustration I can understand. Even whoever having Ronaldo currently, which is like myself, he didn't play the first game. It's like playing single game actually this week. Itu pun if let's say he plays tonight, which there are rumors that he might not start tonight. All right, man. Let's go to
I think if No, I just want to say that with Ronaldo, it might be better if he wasn't even on the bench, because the worry is that he might, especially for those who captain it, he might come in and just do a 1-pointer.
Yep, understand. Let's go through what we will talk tonight. Our agenda. We run through our game with 22 team. Okay. As where we are. Okay. Before these 2 fixture tonight, Leicester versus Spurs and Branford versus MU. We walk through some match analysis, the matches that has been run out in game week 22 so far. We also want to look a bit. We seen that Coutinho and Digne already involved in first 11, so-called first team play. We Digne start the game against Manchester United. Coutinho actually did play some role and actually scored in the game. So we just want to touch a bit asset under Aston Villa, especially Coutinho and Digne. We just want to have a brief look what fixture outstanding so far, which has been postponed due to COVID. So at least we can see which team that has a lot of matches to be played and the potential players that we can bring in for future transfer. Okay, so just we have a look on that. Okay, refresh with everyone. We walk through game week 23 fixture. So called now it's still single game week. I'm not sure whether we're gonna have a small double game week this week. The normal captain pick without Salah. So who's the front runner for this week, and also transfer plan for game week 23.
Yep, sounds good.
Hey man, let's go to your team first.
Right. Okay. So it's looking dire at this stage. I know there's a green arrow there, but unfortunately, I've actually run out of players, and so I did 2 transfers for a -4 hit, and the one transfer was for Trossard, and the other was for Firmino. So the thing with the Trossard pick, it was in my first draft, I had already looked at Bruno to put in, But in the end, I wasn't convinced with how how Manchester United was playing, and because, well, I was under impression that if Ronaldo continued to play, then Bruno wasn't gonna get much love in terms of fantasy points wise. And unfortunately, Ronaldo didn't play, and Bruno ended up scoring 2 goals. Although to be fair, the first goal was quite lucky. It was quite sad on the goalkeeper's side
Yalah, howler by
to let go
Martinez.
that
Yep.
goal, but yeah, that's such a howler from such a normally reliable keeper. And in the end, it was although Manchester United ended up not winning anyway because they let 2 goals back. But yeah, but that's in terms of fantasy points, it's lost. The most annoying bit is okay. So Foster came back. So I was hoping that he would play 2 matches, but unfortunately 1 match only. so that's what it is. Chelsea were one of the teams that survived to play 2 matches. Unfortunately, looking at their points, they may as well have played 1 match. They were quite terrible against Brighton, and the marking. If you saw the match this morning against Brighton versus Chelsea,
Oh.
the marking for the Brighton goal was nowhere. It was terrible, and it showcases just how bad Chelsea's defense is starting to get in the absence of their their regulars like James and
Chilwell.
Chilwell. But at the same time, the it's possibly a lack of organization from the keeper because it's not Mendy now, it's Kepa, so maybe it doesn't have that same understanding that the others used to have. So it's looking bad for those with Chelsea assets. And, yeah, it might not be a good idea to still keep them. So the funny thing about my team is that it looks as though the players with double game week was Alexander Arnold and Cancelo, but it was nowhere like that. Okay, Bernard, I had Bernardo. He didn't do anything. Bowen did well. He was all right.
He could
Firmino,
score more than 7 points that I can see.
yeah, unfortunately, because I sold instead of I had to choose between DCL and Antonio to sell for Firmino, and I chose Antonio. Antonio ended up still with an assist, although he did get a yellow card. So, but looking back, it looks as though it's a mistake because I'm really worried about Everton now that they've lost Rafa Benitez. So I'm not sure how it's going to go moving forward. King is what the King Daddy story is ever since that debate where the eye test versus the underlying stats about Dennis and King. Since then, if I'm not wrong, Dennis has scored 1 goal, King has got nothing. So in the end, it's really, really bad. Even though Dennis didn't go to AFCON, in the end, that debate seems like it's pettered out because neither player is performing at the moment. Watford's attacking seems to have gone missing, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Yeah, so on terms of the bench, yeah, there were 2 players who didn't play. Keane was so bad. I'm just glad he did. I'm just glad I didn't field him. That was a -2, and Livramento, of course, was injured. So it's still a positive rank. I'm just hoping I can keep that rank, survive without too much loss for this tomorrow morning's matches.
Yeah, understand. I mean, I think I'm not sure whether you mentioned about mistake on Everton. Except we know Everton versus Norwich, right? We definitely wants to have a go on Norwich, which has been performing bad. But then that is it. Everton has its lowest point, and they did not do anything. Nasib baik Keane tak ada in your squad lah. -2 points. If not, it will be worse for you. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Let's quickly go to my team. Okay, I'm on 47 points. Okay, tak ada take any hits. I roll my transfer this week. So far, average point is 35. 47 is not that bad. My ranking slightly go higher from 152,000 to 146,000. Okay. I still have some players for tonight. De Gea, Dalo and Ronaldo, hopefully. Okay. Dalo is something yang I gamble lah whether he plays or not. He actually start last game. Almost got a clean sheet so-called lah. Tapi then Coutinho masuk and play, and then United concede 2 goals, so only 1 point. I'm not sure whether he plays tonight. Okay, if let's say Wan-Bissaka still ill, maybe he still got another chance versus Brentford. Okay. Ronaldo, like everyone, frustrating. He did not play. Kalau dia tak main, kalau dia tak main, then my vice captain Bowen 7 points not so bad. So I can get from him. The rest, like normal, man. You have TA and Cancelo, who has been performing. I know already Cancelo at Man City lawan Chelsea is a big match, but Cancelo has potential. He's now returned back-to-back games in terms of reverse fixture lah. Last time dia dapat clean sheet and also assist. This time around, he also did that from a wonder goal by KDB. Right? And then the rest of the team, nothing much. Jota, Mount disappointing. Gray only 2 points. Antonio assist like you have, but like you mentioned, by a yellow card. King does nothing. So we see tonight whether Manchester United can give me a higher ranking. If not, will stay maintain at 140, 130,000 will be good enough moving forward.
Well, the best thing about if Ronaldo fails to turn up, at least your vice captain is someone who actually did something, so you'll get some points there. So yeah, it should push you up a bit more.
Yep. Right, man. Let's go to just run through match analysis game week 22. Daripada berapa sepatutnya, I think like it should be 4 plus 10, 14 matches, I think. But in the end, we already have 9 matches here. So we just some key takeaways. Only 4 home wins and 1 away wins. 2 clean sheets and 26 goals scored. Okay, 26 a bit around average lah. Okay, we can say. So we go first. Brighton lawan Crystal Palace, man. Okay, Brighton, you bring Trossard in, but in the end, nothing from him this game. Gallagher, who actually consistently performing, he's been out because of COVID. Lepas tu return last game, but this game he scored again. I think he's the number 6 or 7 player in FPL who achieves 100 points first after Salah and so on. So he's the number 6 or 7 that reach 100 points. So this is a good thing about Gallagher. He's still performing, and you can see there he got 2 bonus points. Butland did save penalty. I'm not sure who actually took the penalty. And then the rest of the player, McAllister did continue his form and got 1 bonus point.
So we saw again Gallagher come back and score again, and but obviously in a game week, double game week, unless you already have him, people were not likely gonna bring Gallagher in. So those who still have him, well done, congratulations. It does look and previously we talked about how Crystal Palace, the impact of AFCON on Crystal Palace. So, but it looks like they still okay. It's just that Brighton had a more solid defense than they showed previously. So they weren't able to go past beyond 1 goal. But I would still look at Crystal Palace assets as a good outlet, especially in terms of the attack. On the Brighton side, Mopé continues to defy expectations. Everyone, despite being so frustrated with him in previous seasons, he was never one for consistency, but he's popped up and scored another goal again. Yeah, but come next week, we'll still see people not go for Mopé anyway.
Baru I teringat, man. Actually, Gross took the penalty and Butland saved it. It could easily been Trossard, right?
Gross is usually the one who's taking penalties for Brighton, but if he's not there, I'm not sure who takes it. But it could have been Trossard. Yeah.
Betul. Lamptey missed this game, so ramai juga bawa masuk. I think but the second game later we thought he did play. Same like Trossard. I think he played this game but missed or bench the Chelsea game.
He was benched for the second one, so which is equally frustrating. But the thing with where Lamptey was concerned is that Graham Potter, the manager, mentioned that they were managing a bit of an injury
Fair,
or
fair,
or
fair.
discomfort that Lamptey has, but it is annoying because because we know, we all know Lamptey has history
Yeah.
a history of injuries,
Okay.
so I think it was more a precaution rather than him actually being really injured. So yeah,
Okay.
it's something to be careful of.
Let's go to Man City versus Chelsea match. I'm a Chelsea fan. I watched the game, but Man City dominate like normal. I thought we had a chance, but one or two chance we get, but Man City has the final say. De Bruyne did score the winning goal, assist by Cancelo, like we know. I thought Cancelo got the 3 bonus point. It's not. De Bruyne got the 3 bonus point, so he got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I suppose. So same like Cancelo. The rest is Stones and Laporte got the bonus point. Is De Bruyne should be in our watch list, man. Since later we will see the fixture coming up for Man City.
Definitely, and the thing is, because he's a premium price player, yet he's now starting to perform more consistently, and in again, and despite Foden played this match as well,
Yeah,
so I do wonder if this was considered um, Manchester City's almost full strength lineup,
betul.
which they played against Chelsea.
Yep.
Uh, so
Surprisingly, Diaz didn't start, right?
yeah, so that was the biggest question mark as to why Diaz didn't
Hmm.
start. Was Stones better needed against Chelsea's physicality? I'm not sure, but it seems to be that's the case. Having said that, Hafiz, I wanted to know what you thought of Thomas Tuchel's tactics with Chelsea. Okay, for example, Mason Mount didn't start this match, which was
Hmm.
really frustrating considering I captained him. And arguably, in my perspective, is that he's currently one of in the absence of Reece James and Chilwell, he is pretty much uh, the go-to for Chelsea in terms of
Betul.
reliable
Yep.
and in goal scoring form. Although the last couple of matches he and including the FA Cup he didn't do quite well. So the argument that some Chelsea fans have is that he was he looked a bit tired, and that he had in the midweek match. As a result, he didn't start. But as a result, Chelsea's attack, to me, it looked quite toothless. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
City
Yeah.
were controlling most of the game. So I don't know what your thoughts are on
Yeah,
that.
if based on that match, if I see, like we are not. I think Mason Mount should start that game, even though maybe Tuchel ada different thoughts. Maybe he wants Ziyech and Pulisic pace against Man City defense. Maybe that what he's thinking. But I still feel Mount should be is one of our best players so far.
Mm,
He's more consistent. He actually after he coming in, we can see a bit lively from
yeah.
Mount himself that push the game. I'm not a fan
He-
of
but he
Ziyech.
came in. Yeah, he came in so late. That's the problem. Like 80th,
Hmm,
81st minute or something. So it's like,
hmm.
uh,
So that's why. But in the end, Tuchel made the call. I think I don't know. I feel Kante also not really fit in that game. I think it's not really like controlling the midfield. So I'm not sure about Kante
okay.
fitness and so on. But he did play second game. So overall, Man City outplayed us. That I can say. We got one or two chances that Lukaku won. I think if let's say that one go in, it will be a different game. But in the end, it is not meant
Mm,
to be. Siapa ya? Grealish, I think Grealish got a very good chance, big chance in the first half. He didn't put in. So that's one of lucky on our side lah. But in the end, I think it could be easily more than one.
yeah. Yeah,
Okay, man.
I mean, those who obviously most of us still have Cancelo, so yeah, that's good. So because
So
KDB
in the end
is
again,
still not yet
my heart
probably
is
less. Yeah,
yes, my heart with Chelsea. But if let's say Man City did score, at least Cancelo did something for us.
yeah.
Okay, let's go to next match, which is What actually I'm looking forward. Newcastle versus Watford is a really intriguing battle, both at relegation dogfight. I actually watched this match from beginning until the end. Okay, but quite frustrating on Newcastle side, to be fair. Chris Wood, who's the first apa the new signing from Newcastle, he did not do so much. But in the end, the usual hero for Newcastle, ASM or Sam Esimin, that actually popped the goal. And then from Watford side, no nothing from Dennis and King, although they are threatening, to be fair. But Joao Pedro actually delivered the goals, assisting from the bench from sub player Firmino coming in.
Yeah.
So it's a long battle for Newcastle, that I can say.
Yeah, so Newcastle, this game showed the debut of Chris Wood, uh, and Callum Wilson wasn't available, so
Yep.
Chris Wood led the line. Unfortunately, but it was ASM who ended up scoring, which was a solo effort because he was just doing what he does best, which is dribbling
Yeah.
around here, there, missing, going past defenders and ended up scoring the goal. So it was a good piece of individual brilliance, but it doesn't look good for Newcastle, to be honest, in terms of actual, being able to play themselves out of it. And you can't rely on individual brilliances too much. At some point, the team has to be able to be together and help to score along for the win. And having a 1-1 draw for both teams is nowhere good. It's not good enough because both teams are pretty much in the heat of the relegation battle. It's between Newcastle, Watford, Norwich, and Burnley at this point. And yeah, so they need all the points they can get. For the fantasy managers, okay, you may not have much Newcastle, so it was frustrating again, as mentioned earlier. King and Dennis neither contributing to the cause. It's not,
Yeah.
and Watford, and I just want to say with Watford in terms of the attack is, it's nowhere looking as good as it used to be. It used to be that the defense was terrible, but they could always be relied on to score goals. They seem to be scoring goals regularly. That doesn't seem to be the case at now. They seem to have
Okay.
pulled back a bit, so they're not so great anymore.
Okay. But never mind. I think we should give them one more chance against Norwich this week.
We will.
Everton,
So
this year did play, but Richardson on the bench. Okay, I think he actually get into second half and he actually produced a goal. Norwich versus Everton. We're talking about Norwich versus Everton. Sorry.
yeah,
Norwich did win that game. Okay. No Pookie show, but other player like Ida and also own goal boy by Michael King, like you know. Okay. So Ida got 3 bonus points, Richardson 2. Others like Williams and Godfrey got 1 point. So Norwich
yeah,
actually off from the bottom of the league and went to 17th place. Yeah.
yeah. So Norwich looked really good in this game.
Sorry, 18th
They look
place. Yeah.
they look strong. They look like they wanted to win. They had that desire. Unfortunately, the thing is, Everton should have had that desire too, but their defending was atrocious. It was crazy. They made so many unforced errors. It's almost like a game of tennis. Sorry for using that term, but they made mistakes. Godfrey was guilty of almost gifting Norwich another goal. And so you can see that he's supposed to be Luca Digne's replacement, but now they brought in another player. Can't remember his name. It's a very complicated name,
Yeah.
which hopefully can
Mayanke.
replace. Yeah. So it's clearly they missed Richarlison. Of course, we don't know he scored the goal is not an issue, but after he came in, Everton looked much better. And they were on the move and they were looking to score. They were on the attack a lot more, whereas previously they kept sitting back. So, but attack aside, that defense still needs to be sorted out. And under Duncan Ferguson, obviously Duncan Ferguson, whose background is a defender, he's going to drill some. Hopefully, he doesn't injure his team while trying to drill it into their heads on how to defend again. But they have a lot of work to do. Everton are going to get dragged into the relegation battle big time.
All right. Let's go to the next match, man. Wolves versus Southampton. Wolves, consistent team. They have been performing of late and now moving to 8th place after winning. Mengalahkan Southampton 3-1. We can see from that result, okay, Cody pop up with a goal. Jimenez, whoever still have him, should be a happy man. Jimenez did score also, and Traore. Oh, we can see 2 assists for Out Nori. Yeah. So
Yeah.
he's still under radar. Okay, and if let's say Wolves keep performing well, why not thinking of him? I'm not sure about his price. I think 4.3 maybe. I'm not sure. What pros? If you watch that goal, I don't know about you lah. What pros go? I have to salute him. He's the free kick specialist from 35 yards out court. I think tendang like defeat Joseta. So I think credit to him. He's definitely, if let's say, a consistent player under Southampton team lah, that I can see.
Yeah, so you can argue that Ward-Prowse, I think we mentioned this before that he's such a good free kick taker. And he also takes penalties as well, but unfortunately, his all-round game is still not strong enough. And we pretty much know that in terms of ongoing goals, as in non-set piece goals, he doesn't really contribute much. But when there's a set piece involved, there he is. But it was also Southampton being brought down to earth because after they won 4-1 against Brentford, the previous week, we know now that we can pretty much confirm that it was more to Brentford being bad rather than Southampton being excellent. Southampton took their chances, but unfortunately, against Wolves with a much more disciplined defense, a solid defense, Wolves came up for the win. Took them a while, but they ended up winning anyway. So Traore, collector's item goal for you guys. Don't know if he's ever going to score again, but enjoy it. But in terms of fantasy, Cody scoring was, I think quite people do still have Cody in their fantasy lineup. So, that goal also can be treasured. Jimenez still being the most relied on person in Wolves to score a goal. So if you want to pick an attacker, Jimenez can continue to tick. Alt-Nouri starting to fulfill his potential. I think I highlighted him previously as a cheap option, and with 2 assists, looks like his role in terms of attacking seems to be there. And although they didn't keep a clean sheet in this one, we know that Wolves can be relied on clean sheets. So if it's not clean sheets, it could be return. So I think Alt-Nouri could be a really powerful one. And if you don't have him, it probably wouldn't be a subject of a 1 week transfer. But if you're wildcarding him, then definitely Alt-Nouri should come in.
Because why I didn't think of Al-Nouri, because I'm worried in terms of rotation risk with Markel, right? He's actually the one of the starter at the beginning of the season. I'm not sure what's the situation right now. Let's say Al-Nouri continue to play 90 minutes. It's definitely in my thoughts. Okay, let's go to the next game, which is Villa versus MU, man. Everyone knows Ronaldo is the highlight, but in the end, he did not turn up totally. But guess who? Bruno Fernandes stole the limelight. Okay, still remember from beginning of FPL this year, Bruno is one of the premier that we picked, Salah and Bruno. Then after that, Ronaldo came in game week 4. Then after that, gone from our thinking. Is he back? Should we actually consider him now?
It seems to be boiled down to the fact that Ronaldo wasn't playing, so Fernandes was allowed to shine. So then moving forward, it becomes a question of do we find out whether or not Ronaldo's playing? If he is, then if he's not, then pick Fernando, pick Bruno. But that's going to be a frustrating thing to navigate through, because at the end of the day, Bruno ain't cheap either. Yeah, both
Betul?
Bruno and Ronaldo are expensive. And the thing is, if you have Ronaldo, he hasn't really set the any match on fire yet after his debut match
Hmm.
against Newcastle. Uh, and I just want to
I think
highlight
the
that. So I
recent
just
one
want to
is against Burnley lah, 13 points, 1 goal, 1 assist.
Yeah, I also want to highlight that at the end, it's clearly Manchester United's problems. There's a lot of problems still in the defense. It says a lot that although Fernandes scored 2 goals and although Manchester United conceded 2 goals, David De Gea still ended up with a bonus point because he was so busy. He had so many saves to make, and I think he got uh, 4 points.
4 points. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So it
One
tells you a
save
lot.
point and one bonus point lah.
Yeah. No, but no. Two save points.
2 save points, sorry, 2 save point.
Yeah,
Yep.
because he let in 2 goals, so that's -1.
Yep,
So,
yep. So 1 point
so
only. Yep.
so if I'm not wrong, there were 7 or 8 shots on target that he had to save,
Okay.
and it
Yep.
reflects well on Aston Villa's attack. And you have Ramsey, who again for his price, he scored a goal, and it's quite amazing. Uh,
1 goal, one
and
assist.
yeah, 1 goal, 1 assist. So he's really going up there. Having said that, it's hard to look past Coutinho, the emergence of Coutinho. We'll
Hmm.
talk a bit more later,
Yep.
but it's clear that Aston Villa are quite ambitious. Yeah, bringing in Coutinho and Luca Digne, they're starting to look really, really strong, and probably they look like they're going to try to make a run for the Europe spots. And
Yep.
looking at the
Yep.
squad right now, it seems like they have a chance to do that.
Yep. Watkins and Ings did play together this game, so I'm not sure what to say about that because I think Ramai thinking of maybe Ings is not in favor in terms of the tactic from Steven Gerrard, but he did play this game, although he did not complete the 90 minutes. Watkins, yes. And Coutinho only played 22 minutes to be fair, and he actually popped a goal. So we can only
Yeah,
expect better things from him moving forward. Later we talk about him.
yeah,
The next game, which is West Ham versus Leeds United, we are expecting another West Ham win, but it turns out a thriller at Bowling Ground. Leeds United scored 3 and West Ham scored 2. We can see there a hat trick, not by Rafinha, but I can say forgotten man Harrison. He is capable of that kind of performance. He did score a hat trick in this game. Okay. And other points ialah Bowen did pop up with still consistent performance. A goal, he could actually score more than 1 goal, like we mentioned. Okay, go on.
yeah. So we talked about how Leeds people like Harrison, who was such good form last season and looked nowhere near this season. So he's popped up, which can only help Leeds. Although I'm sure that those fantasy managers who had Rafinha must surely be frustrated seeing 3 goals, yet Rafinha only had an assist. But it is what it is, and it can only good. And at the day, Rafinha still got a bonus point.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
despite 5 goals being, and all 5 goals being scored by other
Three,
people,
four,
but
five. You
Rafinha,
got six
so he
points. Yeah.
was, yeah. So I wouldn't sell Rafinha because I think he's still capable of bringing in points. At the same time, it can only be good for Rafinha if the other players return to form. People like Harrison. And if Branford comes back, full and able to play, at least 70, 80 minutes, then Leeds can have a good shot. And okay, on the West Ham side, Bowen again scored. Bowen looking really good. Antonio assisted, although he did get a yellow card. Yeah, but the thing with West Ham again, it's clearly they're missing having their main first choice centre backs still not available. Although Cresswell is back, but Zuma, I think Zuma was a sub, I think now. So hopefully he'll help get some stability. At the end, they, but the story is still about Leeds. How this is more like how we saw them last season in terms of their
Yeah,
having having strength in attack. So their fantasy their fantasy assets may be up for the market again. Aside from
yeah.
Rafinha.
Okay, like you said, don't sell Rafinha if you have him. But how about if we do not have him? Should we bringing him in?
I don't know if you have the fixture list. We'll have to take a look at that and see.
Later we talk. Later we walk through.
All right.
Okay, next game, which is Liverpool versus Brentford. Like you mentioned, Brentford has been awful for the past weeks, and it continues against Liverpool. 3-0 by Liverpool. No goal by Jota, unfortunately. Okay. So Alex Chamberlain, Fabinho, and Minamino got the goals. Firmino, like you, got assists. Robertson and TAA got the 2 assists. Okay. So what's our thinking for Liverpool asset until Salah is back?
Yeah, I think it's still looking good. I know it's frustrating that Jota, but that's the thing. If you were on Twitter during this match, it was funny to see all the people frustrated with Jota. Everyone's tweeting saying, Jota is essential during the AFCON. Yeah, essentially useless. I think that was one tweet I saw because in the absence of Salah and Mane, you think Jota would be the one to step up. But so far, in this match he didn't, even though he had his chances. Chamberlain took his goal well. Alex Ox Chamberlain. Sorry, I should. Don't like saying it, just Chamberlain. Again, and Minamino came in and also scored a goal, which is good. Fabinho had a nice, close range goal. But at the end of the day, at least for Liverpool, and as a Liverpool fan myself, I was happy to see the fringe players make it count in the absence of the star players. So in this case, Chamberlain, Alex Ox, and Minamino, coming in. The defense was reliable, but we saw as expected from Brentford being humiliated by Southampton. Although was only three, it was still considered a low affair 3-0. But it goes to show that Brentford are a team to target.
Yep. So we'll see tonight whether Brentford versus Manchester United, can Manchester trash them? I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure.
Well, Brentford are at home, so I don't know. It all depends on which Manchester United turns up.
Yep. We'll see tonight. Last game before we wrap up this match analysis, Brighton versus Chelsea. Another poor performance by Chelsea. They only managed to get 1 point. Only 1 goal scored by Ziyech. Okay, no Mount involvement. Frustrating for us, man. McAllister, another assist. Okay, I think the previous game also he got an assist, right? So congrats whoever have him. Webster pop up the goal. Okay. So yeah, no Trossard, nothing from Trossard because he's been benched and coming in second half.
Yeah, so it's frustrating for me who had who had Trossard who played the first match and got benched the second, and then Mount who was benched the first match and then played the second one. So again, Chelsea's attack seems to suffered again, and although Ziyech scored early, I think it was on the 20th minute. Yeah, but it didn't impact Brighton at all. Brighton kept coming. There wasn't any they didn't retreat back into the shell, because Brighton, being the current Brighton, they don't crumble. Yeah, they don't crumble. They continue to attack, and Chelsea were under a lot of pressure, and there's some disharmony within that team. We saw, and I don't know if you have any thoughts or if you read anything, Hafiz, because in one thing that was highlighted in some of the reports was that Ziyech and Lukaku were having a go at each other throughout the match. There was always this They seem to be discussing and arguing. Yeah, so I don't know that misunderstanding whether they have a good understanding. It doesn't look like they have. Apparently, someone did ask the manager after the match, and he dismissed it. But it's clear there's something not right going on there. Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure about that, but there is something Tuchel that need to handle. To be fair, if let's say Tuchel give a reason of tiredness and so on, I'm not too sure we really have a really good squad, even at in the bench can. So he can rotate players, okay, but the players are not performing to what we are expecting. So we'll see this game match this week. So before they go off for World
I think
Cup competition.
yeah, I guess one question is whether or not they're going to find a better replacement for Chilwell because Chilwell looks like he's going to be out for the rest of the season. So are
Yeah.
we really going to is Chelsea really going to rely on Alonso because he has looked poor? All that
Ah.
reputation of him being such a strong attacking fullback with suspect in defense that hasn't really churned out this season. It looks like that attacking potential hasn't come either as well. Reece James
Okay.
will be only at the end of February or early March.
Hmm.
So
Yep.
without those two, then Chelsea are going to continue to struggle because it looks like without them, the midfielders struggle as well.
Betul. I think at one point Tuchel ada play Hudson Odoi on the wing lah. Okay. In place of Reece James. Not sure whether why he doesn't continue that. I feel maybe he could give a chance for him to play at that side instead of Pulisic or others. If you ask me, I think Chilwell place is more of a concern other than right wing, okay, right wing back so called, because maybe Azpilicueta is not as good as Resident, but I think he can fill that position and just play Kaloba if he's fit in the back three so called. Cuma on the Alonso side, I think Chelsea did try to call up Emerson back from loan, but I think on the complication side there, maybe he cannot return. But they actually managed to call Kennedy back, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm not sure what is his status right now. So that is the option that we have. I'm not sure whether they will buy someone or loan someone for this second half of the season. We shall see. Alonso did perform in the early season, like everyone says he's the one on the left back. Chilwell, he frozen Chilwell or he put Chilwell on the bench. So, but now he's not like an option. But I'm not too sure moving forward. We'll see how it
Because
goes.
yeah. So the problem with Chelsea is that they're slipping away in terms of the title race. They're now 12 points behind
Mm-mm.
Manchester City, and Chelsea have actually played one extra game.
Betul.
Liverpool are in second, but they played 21 games. So at least they have two an extra game in hand. But Chelsea are falling further back. So
Yeah.
Liverpool
To
have
be
two more
frank,
games more to play.
we can consider out of the title race already. It's like 12, 13 points away. But in the end, Tuchel cannot say we are out of the title. They can only
No, of
say
course
we
not.
try our best and
Yeah,
we take one game at a time and see at the end result where we are. But
yeah,
to be
yeah.
fair, Chelsea still had a lot to play in terms of cup competition. We are already in Carabao Cup final. We are in World Club Cup competition. We're still in 16, the final 16 in Champions League. So there's still a lot to play if let's say league
True.
is not in our hand yet anymore. Lah. Okay, man.
Yeah.
I think let's go to the next topic. Coutinho and Dini impact the last game. Okay, this is what I have. Maybe later you can show whatever that you have. From
Okay.
here in midfield, I think Bundinia, Jacob Ramsey, Sanson, and Douglas Lewis starts in midfield for Villa the previous game in game week 22. We can see impact of Coutinho. He just managed like 22 minutes sub in for Sanson. If you see Sanson are really pissed off when he sub out. If you see him, I'm not sure whether he angry because he performed well in that match and why Gerard sub him out. But you cannot complain when we have quality like Coutinho coming in, right? So in terms of
Yeah,
penalty touches, Coutinho with 22 minutes he already got 3 penalty touches. Only Buendia more than him. Okay. In terms of shots, total attempts, he's still up there with Bundia and Ramsey, even though playing only 22 minutes. He got one shot inside the box. So I feel this is only good things moving forward. And his price is at 7 million only, mean. I'm surprised with that price. He
yeah.
could be higher, but I'm not too sure. What your comment?
Oh, okay, so yeah, I think seven is a bargain, to be honest. Yeah, for the potential he's capable of, and I think arguably they are looking at it that he was priced based on his performance at Barcelona, which was really poor. Let's be fair. Yeah, so he never really did do well in Barcelona. So, but now he's at Aston Villa, and where he has a good chance of being a big fish in a small pond. Having said that, I wouldn't discount that small pond either, because you have players like Ings, Martinez, who are all quality, good players, and now Luca
Hmm.
Digne has come in. So if he surrounds, if yeah, and if people like Bailey, uh, able to remain clear from injury, then Aston Villa are gonna look really good. And under the guidance of Steven Gerrard, so Steven Gerrard knows what Coutinho is capable of. So whether or not Barcelona tried to uh, get Coutinho to do something he couldn't, or not, I'm not sure. I didn't follow him that much when he was in Barcelona. But Steven Gerrard knows his play, how Coutinho plays. He played with Coutinho before, so he knows what his strengths and weaknesses. He knows what he's capable of. So I think that Gerrard will bring the best out of Coutinho. And the only thing is that we saw, for those of you who came in, saw that even though he only played 22 minutes, he looked really tired. So hopefully, so hopefully, they'll be able to build up more. And even though you would expect him to start the next match, he wouldn't go past 60 plus minutes. So if
Hmm.
that's okay for you, then you should pick him. But uh, otherwise, you might want to consider Jacob Ramsey instead.
Fair. He has been performing. His price so cheap, that's why maybe people are not considering him. 4.6. You could bench him anytime. But he actually got one goal and one assist. And we should not overlook him soon if let's say he keeps continuing to perform. Okay, just to
Yeah.
mention, Coutinho is currently still at 4.7% owned by managers. Like you mentioned, maybe he need to build more fitness yeah, in order
Yeah.
to play 90 minutes. We'll see how the next game, which is against Everton. Do you? I'm not sure. Do you
Perfect.
foresee that he play 90 minutes? I'm not too sure.
No, what Coutinho?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even if he starts, which I'm not sure he will, I don't. Yeah, if let's say he starts, he'll definitely be subbed out after the 60 plus minutes to take care of him and not
So,
risk.
would you say that we should like wait and see first for continual situation?
Well, the problem is they up against Everton,
Hmm.
so it's really tempting to bring him in.
Okay.
So let's
Fair.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so so just to highlight. Okay, so I'm not going to share a screen after, because I got some of my stats wrong.
Okay.
But I just wanted to highlight that during his time at Liverpool, Coutinho, in the 2014-2015 season, which was arguably his best, he was named one of the best performers of that season. Although he only scored 5 goals and 5 assists, but he was so instrumental during that season that he did well. In 2016-2017, his season, which was his last full season for Liverpool, he scored 13 goals and 7 assists. So that's 20 goal involvements there. So I would expect that for a half season, if he's already scored one, so he's already like 1/10 of the way there. I wouldn't be surprised to see if he's involved with many of um, Aston
Betul.
Villa's goals moving forward. Yeah, it's just that the minutes that he'll have will be a lot limited. So he'll have a limited more time to make an impact. So as Liverpool fans know, it was in the January 2008 that he left for 2018, sorry, that he left for Barcelona, and that was it.
Yep.
Now he's back in the Premier League, and I can see that, based on what I saw, there's definitely potential, and I think while I don't see myself jumping on Coutinho immediately, I can't argue. I can't say that. I wouldn't say no to anyone who decides to jump on Coutinho, especially if you have a space to spare. So yeah, go for it.
Okay, just to share a bit at just this juncture, the most transfer in is
Let's
Coutinho.
continue. There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
Just to highlight a bit on the free kicks situation. So yeah, so Luca Digne has come in now. Arguably, although Luca Digne hasn't been playing in the last few matches, but arguably between the two, he would be the more fit, and he's already used to the rigors of the Premier League. So I fully expect Luca Digne to start regularly from now on. And at
Okay.
5.0 in the Villa side, he might do a lot better job. It's just a case of I can see Luca Digne taking all the free kicks
Oh, okay.
from now on. Yeah, I think Douglas Lewis was taking a
Okay.
lot of free kicks
Yep.
previously.
Okay.
So say bye bye to Douglas Lewis as a potential cheap pick, because I do think that Digne will take more of those moving forward. However, if Coutinho is there, then they may share.
Yeah. So just to touch a bit, since we already jumped into Digne, we can see stats down there. Okay, Digne, unlike Coutinho, Digne starts from the beginning. He made his debut,
Yeah,
90 minutes he got, and we can see penalty touches is more than other Villa defenders. 3 penalty touches. We can see
yeah,
attempts on goal. He's the most 2 attempts, and inside the box some more. So that is definitely enticing managers who want to bring him in. I was one of the Digne owner from the beginning of the season, as usual, and he burned me out. But maybe I should not
bad
think
grudge.
like macam have grudge with him. I have to have clear mind. If they say he's now really in a good team, he's been performing. I think Villa fixture later we see it will be better than moving forward. So maybe he's one to be picked, and his price still decent at 5. 5. So better than cash 5.1. Okay for now.
Uh, yeah, definitely. With penalty touches the same as Coutinho and Ramsey, and
Mm, mm, mm.
and Tree. So yeah, definitely Digne is looking much better now, and play with a manager who if he can work better with the manager and not have another falling out, then Digne could really do well.
Yep. Yep. Right, man. Let's go to the next topic, which is just want to run through. Fixture outstanding means because of match postponement due to COVID. Okay, status at now. Okay, the team with most fixture to be played is Burnley. 5 match they need to play. I'm not sure where they will fit in. I think they will definitely need to fit in somewhere, maybe during Champions League matches and so on. Next is Leicester and Arsenal got 4 matches. So I feel if let's say managers like who has still have Ramsdale is definitely a key along the way. We know Arsenal we have somewhere 4 matches to be played and double game week anytime. We anytime small double game week and so on. So Arsenal could have Leicester and Arsenal have 4 matches. Then Everton, Spurs, and Watford itself have 3 matches to be played. Okay. And the next in line, Brighton, Liverpool, Leeds, Villa, Wolves, Newcastle, and Chelsea. 2 matches. Crystal Palace, Norwich, Southampton, and Manchester United only have 1. So if let's say owner like me, they here, I only left 1 potential double game week instead of Ramsdale who has 4 fixture. And last but not least, Man City, West Ham, Brentford will not have any outstanding anymore matches anymore. So there is no so-called like potential double game week for them. So from
Yeah.
this status, what your first reaction?
Well, Leicester and Arsenal attackers look good. So definitely I have to start shifting towards having them. Do I still have Saka? I still have Saka.
Oh,
Um,
could be. Oh.
but so because you look at that top Burnley, and we're still waiting to see what they do on the transfer window. And the first thing they did was sell Chris Wood. But my understanding is that there was a release clause, so there was no choice in that matter. But of course, that reduced the squad even more, and helped to delay other matches as well. But we're going to continue to avoid Burnley, aren't we?
Yeah.
Until we see some reinforcements, because Maxwell Cornet is not going to be able to score goals by himself. Um, Everton, Spurs, Watford. Spurs. Yeah, we want to get Spurs, don't we? Because I think most of us feel that um, they are starting to show improvement under Antonio Conte. It's just that it took a lot longer than most people thought. Um, and Son needs to return from injury as well. Watford attack is no longer as attractive as we used to think it was, so we'll be avoiding them. Whereas an Everton look dire at the moment. So although they got Richarlison back, but we want to see how they do first under a new manager.
Yeah.
On the bottom side, we got Manchester City, who are probably I'm sure they are happy that they don't have to postpone fixtures, because they do want to do well in the Champions League, and they don't want
Yep.
to do that in the groups with the elimination stages with a lot of tired players. So I think they'll be really really happy that they were able to play most of their matches.
Okay.
Brentford looks poor though, and Brentford could be going down. I know at the start of the season they look good attackingly, but that's gone. And until David Raya comes back, they're gonna end up. They maybe end up totally at the bottom. So by March, so we'll see.
Betul. I think Burnley asset yang I can think of yang kau boleh terfikir main is actually Connect lah. If let's say after he returns from AFCON, I don't know, Burnley when he plays, if let's say he have some favorable fixture, I think that is the one name that pop up in my mind lah. If let's say
Yeah.
Burnley asset to consider. Okay, I think that's just a quick one. If let's say you're bringing in players from Leicester or Arsenal, even then you can think of this is not like for that match only. In future, if
Yeah.
you start with him, there's potentially another 4 fixture to be played somewhere.
Yeah, so even if you have all your chips still left, there's no harm in planning early and just bringing them in anyway. Because even if you end up not using your chips, then you're already in a good, even better position. So yeah, definitely look at having more of the players up top. Well, maybe not Burnley, but Leicester, Arsenal, and Spurs. I think those are your teams to target.
Okay, let's go. We just run through a quick season ticker for the next 4 matches. I don't want to go so long because COVID punya situation right now, we never know what's going to happen in future. But for the next 4, starting this week, 23, 24, 25, 26, Liverpool, Everton, Villa and City, we can see a lot of blue there. Very favorable matchup. We already touched on Aston Villa asset. Everton, Leeds, Newcastle, and Watford. Intriguing matches coming up. So Coutinho, Dini in watch list will be good. I'm not sure about Everton so far, but Liverpool fixture continue to look good, man. Even for
Yeah.
Man City.
Yeah. So definitely Liverpool, and it's looking good for Liverpool fringe assets to shine. And of course, you'd want Jota to shine, because if you've been following AFCON, for example, Salah, Egypt
Ah,
only need 1 point to advance to the elimination stages. So they are in a decent position to advance, which would mean that game week 24 may be in doubt as well for Salah to return. So we continue to have Jota and
TAA.
instead, yeah, and TAA, and not, because without Salah, and most likely without um,
Mane.
Sadio
Who?
Mane as well. Yeah, because Sadio
Okay.
Mane his team are at the top of the table. So
So,
definitely they're gonna, yeah, it looks like they should be able to make it through. They definitely have qualified for the round of 16. Whereas Egypt, they need 1 point. So it's gonna be a while. So if they do well, then you having Jota, Firmino, will definitely may work. Of course, you would hope for them to score. People like Minamino, Henderson, and Oxlade Chamberlain. But
French
but that
players. Yeah.
is what it is. But no reason for you to sell. Just continue to keep them on. And the thing is with Everton has such a good fixture list. It's just their team looks bad at the moment. So, but with Duncan Ferguson coming in, I'm sure people will hold, and like if they still have DCL, they'll
Maybe
still
there
hold
will
and
be
see what
a
happens.
bounce back. There will be a bounce back with so-called the new interim manager. Maybe they will give a go with Duncan Ferguson at the helm now. For now, lah.
Yeah, except that the first match of this arguably favorable list is against Aston Villa, who are much stronger, and I fully expect them to lose this one. So if you have the patience to hold to 24 Newcastle, then Leeds, at least in the attacking side, and the Southampton side, yeah, then definitely hold. If you don't have the patience, because you're gonna watch them lose terribly to Aston Villa, but hopefully people like DCL, Richarlison can at least score a goal. Uh,
Okay.
as on the other side, quickly, just as the Villa are also there, and that is the team that everyone is looking to target at the moment because people already have Liverpool
Alright.
players, and Everton,
Betul.
yeah, they may have, but Aston Villa, they are looking to bring in now, looking at that and looking at how strong Aston Villa looks at the moment.
Okay. Just quickly want to remind. We can see Chelsea at the bottom of this ticker. They will blank in game week 24 and 25 because of World Club Cup involvement. Okay, mereka main untuk World Club Cup competition. Last game, which is this week, Chelsea akan bertemu Spurs, which is a can be considered tough match on paper. So managers will definitely looking to offload Chelsea players. Yeah, I mean, whoever you may have, Rudiger, Alonso, even Mount himself. I think they need to go.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely need to go. And yeah, Southampton, who people will love Ramento. It's not looking good for him to come in even as a sub. Spurs though, Spurs interestingly, Spurs are at that bottom, in the quite far down as well. Um, but they do face Chelsea in the next match, and arguably that's not as bad as matchup as it used to look. Then Chelsea, Southampton, Wolves, and then Manchester City. So I would argue that Spurs, the fixture list they should belong higher in this fixture because I think that Chelsea match is not as bad as it previously looked.
Okay, fair. Let's go to the next topic, which is this game week 23. We already over 1 hour, man. Okay.
Yeah,
So,
sorry.
so
Sorry.
here we can see at this juncture only 10 matches we played. I don't know whether we will have small game week to be announced. But at this juncture, we will have another Friday night deadline, man. Watford versus Norwich. Okay. At 4 a.m. Yeah. So I tick there whether it's favorable for both. It could be high scoring game for both. Watford and Norwich. Everton versus Villa. Okay. Dickney will have a quick return to Everton. Okay. I think he will play in that game. Branford versus Wolves. Branford in dire strait and Wolves in on good form. So maybe a really good match for Wolves. Then Leeds versus Newcastle. Okay, favorable could be for Leeds. Have been gathering this recent win against West Ham. Man U versus West Ham. I think that's the highlight. I think, at least for Saturday. Okay, both are a good form. I'm not sure about Manchester, but it's still a high profile game. Then Southampton lawan Man City, favorable for Man City. Arsenal versus Burnley, good for Arsenal team. Palace versus Liverpool. Liverpool should win that game. And then Leicester versus Brighton. And we'll wrap it up with Chelsea versus Spurs.
The
So,
London
what do you think
Derby.
about game week? Yes, what do you think about game week 23 fixture?
Well, this finishes really quickly, doesn't it? Yeah. So it finishes. The last match is midnight Malaysia time is the last match on Sunday or Monday, early Monday morning. So it's nice to see a shorter fixture where everything finishes really quickly. But as you say, they may announce. They got 2 more days to announce whether or not they're adding any of the postponed fixtures, but we don't know yet. Um, Crystal Palace versus Liverpool. I don't think it's as easy as it used to look,
Okay.
because Crystal Palace are looking really good. And Liverpool, they did struggle at the start against Brentford before the quality finally shone through. But Crystal Palace are not Brentford, so they're going to give a tougher game. Um, I all the other ticks are okay. Watford, Norwich, I don't know if that deserves a tick either, because I feel that Watford are not as strong attackingly as attack as they used to be. Instead, I would put the green tick on Everton, Aston Villa, because I think Everton are gonna get wasted. So I'm sorry,
Oh,
Everton fans,
that, that's
especially
how
coming from
confident you
Liverpool
are.
fans.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at 4-0, 0-4, I
Oh,
would say, to Aston Villa
wow.
away. It's gonna be a
Wow.
trashing. Um,
I'm
that's
not too sure
how,
on that.
yeah. And
I'm not too
and
sure on
and
that.
well, I don't know if popular opinion reflects that, or it's just people bringing Coutinho, but people are bringing Aston Villa assets, so it might be in preparation for that and to take advantage. If I was wild carding, I might even bring in Coutinho as well. I'm that confident. Um, instead of Ramsey, or Coutinho and Ramsey. There you go.
Hmm.
Yeah, everything else is fine. Yeah. So Leeds versus Newcastle. Newcastle, you know, for all the money that they have, first main player they bring in is key player they bring in is Chris Wood. That's not that doesn't look good. But it goes to show the caliber of the players that they can attract, because they're not gonna attract people who don't want to be involved in a relegation battle. So, and that's what it is for Newcastle for this transfer window, which is bringing in players who will be able to fight and survive, and only next season look at bringing in more higher caliber players.
Betul. Okay, I can only see Leeds wins against Newcastle that I can see. Okay.
It
All
is, it
right,
is.
man.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next one, which we want to talk about captain pick for this game week 23. I'm not sure whether you already had someone in mind, but this is what the voters has been choosing. Kevin De Bruyne is on top right now with 17%. Then Dennis. Wow, Dennis, people still favor Dennis. Maybe because of the fixture, man. You might not trust Watford asset, but outside there, they still trust Dennis with their armband. Okay. Then Ronaldo. I'm not sure whether I can agree with this vote, but Ronaldo, I'm not too sure. Rafinha still there, and Cancelo, which had got assist and clean sheet last week. So we just go through a bit. Okay, a top four here: Kevin De Bruyne, Dennis, Ronaldo, and Rafinha. I give you all options. Which one you favor?
I okay, okay. The thing with Dennis is that it feels like wishful thinking from all the people who still own him. Because actually, because a lot of people own him, so they were hoping
Yep,
that
thirty
he
percent,
will bring.
something like that. Yeah,
Yeah. So, but I
30%.
can't. Yeah. And De Bruyne, you have to take into context. He's got most of the votes, but not by a lot. But in terms of ownership, he's still owned by less than 10% in the
Betul.
overall.
Correct.
So he
Correct.
isn't that highly owned yet either. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Yeah. So those who have Rafinha, yeah, definitely. If you have no issues captaining a cheap player compared to all the premium assets, then definitely go for Rafinha, because he could haul against Newcastle. I can't deny that. Again, Ronaldo, come, can we stop? Uh, can we stop looking at past glories with where Ronaldo is concerned? Thinking that he's always gonna shine and go a hat trick. I've although of course I don't have Ronaldo myself, but have we seen him really perform to the point that he deserves the captain's armband? I haven't seen it aside from that Newcastle match. And there was
Okay.
what was that one match where he had a goal and assist? What was that?
Against Burnley. Against
Yeah.
Burnley, yeah.
Okay, so West Ham is not Burnley or Newcastle, and although obviously they did, they have lost, they don't still don't have two centre backs, but Zuma could
Mm.
be back for this
Uh,
one, and I think West Ham will give Manchester United a harder game.
Actually, I am not
Uh,
surprised if they say actually West Ham did win this game, though, to be fair. They can have the potential to win this game.
yeah, because we saw against Villa that Manchester United still had problems in the back, and West Ham's attack is still strong. You got Bowen and Antonio starting to return again.
Yep.
So yeah, definitely. I just want to point out that because although KDB is highlighted there, but I think other Manchester City assets, if you are willing to risk the Pep roulette, they definitely can be considered because they are playing against Southampton, who concede a lot of goals.
Yep.
What was that? I just saw
So,
a crying Chelsea
yeah,
comment.
Chelsea fan.
What
Boone
was
is
that?
actually Chelsea fan like me. He's crying. Yep. I can understand you, bro. Okay. So, I think so. Mean, from these four, you favor Rafinha, is it?
Yeah. I think out of these picks, Rafinha will be best because they got some momentum going, and they play Newcastle, who are defensively suspect anyway.
Okay.
And
Fair.
and Leeds, if they can return to the Leeds of last season, then definitely he could hold.
Right. Fair. Let's go to our team, in. We go to your team first. What is your plan for game week 23?
Right. So obviously I haven't changed my captaincy yet. So I'm still looking. It's quite a tough one, and I'm not. There are plenty of areas that I'm not happy with. The two Everton players I have in my lineup. The fact that I still have two Chelsea players, because most people only have one, and it's probably Alonso left in
Yep.
Aston of the Chelsea. Yeah, so that's another problem. I'm not sure what's going on with Saka. Livramento is also injured. I'm not happy with Watford anymore, even if they play Norwich, and I don't think King uh, is viable, and I think yeah, I think we can afford not to go with Watford assets. So there's a lot of problems I have in my team, and I'm not ruling out a wild card
Oh,
as well. But to be fair, I haven't really drafted anything to see how it would look. Um,
okay.
but definitely I would want to bring in. Yeah, I mean, for example, Rafinha. Rafinha for
Mm-hmm.
Mount could be a decent shout.
Fair.
Um, but okay, so if I wanted to overhaul my squad, I'd definitely bring in the Wolves defenders, maybe Sa and someone like Al Nouri in. Then Aston Villa, I'd want to bring in Coutinho and Ramsey in, for example. And yeah, Arsenal, okay, Arsenal against, Arsenal have okay as well. Um, I want representation there. Although I do already have Saka.
Yep.
Um, and maybe even Spurs, if but if Son isn't fit, then maybe not. But
Okay.
and I'm let's see. I want to see how the Manchester United game goes as well. Yeah. The other team was Leicester. I definitely want to look at Leicester. And again, it's a team that I don't have any players in, and I think I
Okay.
need to. So a wild card is not out of the question.
So if you're not wildcarding, what you gonna do?
It's not looking good, isn't it? It'll be for it would probably be Mount for
Rafinha.
Rafinha.
Okay.
Yeah,
Fair.
yeah, it's very crowded in that midfield. So I have Bernardo, so I'm not sure if he's with KDB shining again. I'm not sure Bernardo is the right pick anymore, even though I've
Okay.
only had him for a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, Trossard I'm still okay with. I think Trossard
Okay.
will get his chances.
Uh, if I see your team, it's not so bad. I think you
Yeah.
can play Saka if he fits. And then just play DCL. Maybe he could actually score against Villa. I'm not sure. Okay. Then if let's say you are not happy with Chelsea as set, then you can change Mount to Rafinha.
Yeah.
or to continue. That's it, and
Yeah.
keep
So
keep
so
keep the same players.
yeah, I might have Mount to Rafinha or Coutinho or Ramsey, but I do feel I want to sell Rudiger as well. So maybe my second transfer will be for Rudiger for like Alt Nouri or
For a hit,
another.
is it?
It will be for a hit. Yeah.
Or maybe give Rudiger a last chance against Spurs.
What chance?
You still remember Rudiger pop up a goal against Spurs recently in Carabao Cup?
Yeah, but oh,
Maybe.
let's see how patient I can get. Okay, I'm gonna take that with a dash of salt because you are a Chelsea fan, so I'm not exactly going. I'm going to trust that.
Okay.
So I don't know.
All
We'll
right.
see. But
Okay.
yeah. But just to highlight, yeah. But that defense is a problem because I got
Okay.
Keane, who I don't trust at all, and
Okay.
so
Livramento is injured. Yep.
yeah, yeah. I might keep Rudiger and sell Livramento instead. It's possible because for
Okay.
Alt
Fair.
Nuri, it's
Fair.
cheap,
Fair. Fair.
right?
If that's the most, then I think I'm more keen on that. Yep. Let's go to my team,
But
I suppose.
hang on. Just a quick one.
Ah.
So for Mino, I
Ah.
did bring him as an instinctive pick, and I do like him over Jota, and it's a bit of a differential. So yeah, there you go.
Fair.
Okay, your turn.
We still remember Firmino can pop up hat trick at any point, right? Like
Yeah,
like he usually do. So maybe his turn somewhere this during Salah Mane less
absence.
period could be.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
let's go to my team for game week 23. I got De Gea in goal against West Ham. I got a lot of Manchester United and West Ham asset, which is actually fighting together this week. So which I'm not too sure. TAA I got Dalo. I'm not sure whether he play or not. Cancelo. I got Gray. Uh, Bowen, Jota, and Mount. Then Antonio, Ronaldo, and King. I got nothing in the bench. Sun injured, Liverpool injured. Diop, maybe he play, maybe he not. If let's say Zuma might come in, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So what I have two free transfer, man. Okay, hear me out. Okay, I think I should address defender because Dalo might not play. We are definitely he's uncertain. Diop, I'm not sure moving forward how, and Livramento is injured. So unless I have clear insight that Dalo will play, but I still favor I need to bring in a defender this week. Okay. And it could be Dick ni, like you mentioned. Macam interesting juga to bring him in for future fixture. And also Aston Villa has two pending fixture, outstanding fixture to be played. And when we see the
Yeah.
statistic just now, man, like you share, is advanced, he has shots, he took free kicks and so on. So he could be really good at 5.0 price tag. Okay.
Yeah.
And I think that's the main thing that I should address. Then the next one is if let's say Sun, okay, to be replaced with someone, and I'm not sure. I got the money, but I cannot get Kevin De Bruyne if let's say I bring in Digne in. Another shot that I can do is actually transfer out Sun and Mount
Yeah.
for Coutinho and KDB. Wow, how you feel about that?
It's very, very aggressive move. Yeah, but it's good that you have two transfers to do it. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm all for it. Although you are so, who would you captain for this week?
If let's say KDB in, then I think he got the armband.
Yeah, it wouldn't be Ronaldo, would it?
I
What?
won't. I don't think I will captain Ronaldo. Sorry to say.
Yeah. So one thing about West Ham is that no need to say sorry to say. Why sorry? Yeah, the thing with West Ham, as you say, it looks like Zuma will return, but at the same time, Thomas Susek will return as well. So
Mm-hmm.
Susek with Rice are much more stronger. I think in the previous match, Lanzini and Susek played, so it wasn't, so
Okay.
they crumbled against the Leeds
Mm-hmm.
press. Yeah, but yeah, captaining KDB sounds good, even though they are playing away. It is Southampton
Yep.
who will concede a lot of goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could do the same. I
Yeah.
can do it actually.
Mm. Another thing with these two transfer, I think I have options. I can wait as long as I want. If let's say Ronaldo is still not declared fit, then I can actually transfer him out for maybe like Watkins, and then upgrade somewhere else in defense or midfield. So
Yeah.
I think I can do that move also. So I think I have options. We'll see how the press conference will go, and then we update again how what our team will looks like.
Yeah, I guess my worry with Watkins is that I'm still not sure how that team looks with both Watkins, Ings, and Coutinho in the lineup. So yeah, I'm more comfortable with someone like Jacob Ramsey but
Jacob Ramsey,
that's
yes,
a
Jacob
risk.
Ramsey.
But it will leave you with a lot of funds though. So you'll be able to upgrade that midfield, especially get rid of Mount for KDB.
Yep, yep. So we'll see how it goes this deadline day.
Yep.
All right, man. I think we already up to 1 and 30 minutes, almost 30 minutes. This show, not
Yeah.
sure whether because kita going early, we have a lot of energy to talk about FPL.
Maybe.
I'm not sure about that. Okay, slightly change in our time because today we decided to go early. Okay,
Okay.
we'll see how it goes. Whether we can continue with this or we will change again the normal time at 11:30. Just to remind everyone, even to myself and also Azmin, game week 23 deadline will be on Friday night, 2:30 a.m. because Watford lawan Norwich early game. Kalau apa ni, I mean Watford and Norwich, I don't know lah whether people wants to captain Dennis in the early kickoff. Yeah, you know what that can be. But that is how it get. After that, the
Yep.
next game week 24 will be on 9 February. So we have like winter break or international break, right? After this. That's what I can see. So we will have like a long break.
You have to look at that. Not
Yep.
sure myself, but yeah,
Yep. That what I've
okay.
been looking at. Yep.
Oh, okay. Gosh. Okay.
So this
Well,
will
yeah,
be
that looks.
this will be the last game before a really long break after this. Okay, so we try to make sure our team is in order for the last game before we break. If not, we will have uh, some suffering if let's say our team is not performing.
Yeah,
So
it comes down to we have to we'll have a show on our deadline show on
yep,
Friday night.
yep,
We're not sure what
yep,
time yet, but we'll keep you
yep,
posted. Um,
yep.
we'll update. And there's still a likelihood that some matches may be announced, so stay tuned for
Okay,
that. So
okay,
we'll see.
all right. So last but not least, okay, give a like to our video and content. Thank you for all your support, and do subscribe to our FPL Jedi Show,
All right.
and click the subscribe button, and we will let you know and give you notification when we are going to live stream. Yeah.
You're on air.
All right, be on air. So I think that's all for our midweek review episode 20 already. Okay, we are going hopefully consistent and going strong. Thank you for all your support, and then hopefully we'll see you again during this deadline day, man. Your last
Yep.
word?
Again, no early transfers. Wait, and all the best. Yeah, and there will and one more thing is that we haven't really talked about it, but look out for any new signings that could make an immediate impact. Yeah, we may want to consider them.
All right,
Okay,
man.
that's okay.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you everyone for tuning to our live stream. See you
Thank
again.
you.
Bye bye. Take care.
Bye.